It is Sunday night, and as we're here short tracking in North Carolina, here on the Overdrive Automotive Media YouTube channel. My name is Cam Gillens, and as always, I have good buddy Jacob Nickerson here with me. How's it going, Jacob?
It's going pretty good, man. I'm excited for some short track action today. We had some last week. We had some super speedway action. Now it's time for some short tracks. It's really going to be an exciting time. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a change of pace where it comes down from to go from the Clash to Vegas here. But speaking of Vegas, we're gonna go ahead and start out with tonight and go through the points coming out of last week. So you have Johnny Rapp on top, followed by Jimmy Moore in second, Chris French in third. You got Kevin Nearat in fourth, Justin Wilson in fifth, with Steve Est in sixth.
And rounding out, you have a three-way tie for seventh with Paul Hahn in the 7, Jacob Phillips in the 56, and Aaron Smith in the 70, all with 21 points. And then at 9 points behind him, at technically 8th, is James Danforth. And coming around, things are in the way. It's going to be Brad Compton in the 15, also tied. Or no, it's not. Never mind. 1 point away from James Danforth.
Mm-hmm. So as we can see, some we were talking about with our the regular points and also the heat points, which brings me to our stories going into tonight's race. You want to take us through that, Jacob?
Well, stories, you got some bumping. Different than the Las Vegas bumping, this is more aggressive. This is to get the guy out of the way. That's classic short track action right there. You get behind the guy, get him a little bit squirrely, and then you run away. So with that is also going to be heat points. Also might have to bump the guy out of the way for a 5th place finish in the heats, because that does score you a bonus point. First place will get you 5 points as well, and then you can fill in the rest. And also with short tracking, it's going to be really compact racing. A lot of avoidance going to be needing to be made after someone gets bumped out of the way, maybe. They're going to come back down on track. You got to be wary about that. And there's a lot of things happening at a short track. You ain't got much time to breathe when the next corner shows up. And with that, you need to keep it cool. Not only yourself, but the cars is also going to be quite hot here at Southern National. I believe the track is at a smooth 90 degrees, so it's not too hot, but it's, decently. I wouldn't wear a sweater in this weather. And with that, you want to make sure you're calm, collected. Try not to get too angry at anybody. Just keep running your own pace. Have patience. With that patience, you can get yourself up in front of the field and maybe get yourself a win here.
Looks like during our qualifying here, we're about halfway down. It looks like we got our top 5 within a half a second of each other in qualifying, so I have a feeling tonight some of those guys up front, like you said, get some track position. They might have to do some bumping and running, but also we'll have the rest of the pack maybe spread out a little bit, so this could be potentially go all the way to green. With that, how are we on fuel and tire situation?
I forgot to check. We should be fine. So fuel you'll make it about 6 of these races. These things are pretty good on fuel. Mm-hmm. We got large fuel tanks in the back, so you'll be able to endurance this thing. Mm-hmm. Tires though, where they wear out a little bit, if you do get a caution, you do have an extra set above the wall as well as a faster pair, so you got one chance at a speedy pit crew to get that thing fixed up and out there again. So you're not going to see many pit for fuel, but for tires, you're definitely going to be.
I know it was a little bit different. I remember when we were coming back here with the minis, but tires didn't seem to fit a whole lot. Do you think it'll matter more in these street cars or these street stockers?
Well, the street stocks, you already got a little bit more power, a little bit more driving off the rear. With it being a hotter track, it is going to shred the tire a little bit more. You could probably make it to the end and be fine. Like if you're sitting there, no cautions come out and it's like 20 to go, you're like, you're not like, oh no, do I pit under green or not? It's like you can run this set to the end, but taking a fresh set, maybe just a fresh right side to get yourself more turn in, because these cars are quite tight. So if you want to just put a fresh set of rights on, get more turn in the car and be going again, but you're not going to be the end of the day if nobody takes tires. You're not going to worry about no blowouts or nothing. So it's more of a strategic call, not necessarily a needed call.
It looks like our qualifying is winding down here. He's like, looks like we're just gonna have a single heat for tonight.
Correct.
Preliminary. So how long is the heat race tonight?
Just going to be a quick little 10-lap run. Caution laps will not count, though.
Okay.
But with that 10 laps, you ain't got a lot of time to make up positions for the future and also maybe get yourself some of those heat bonus points.
Alright, it looks like qualifying is just about to end, so we'll get ready to get these drivers already racked up.
I am excited.
Alright, looks like we have some drivers already starting to get down on track, so we'll go ahead and take it down track side. And we will go ahead and go through the starting grid for tonight's heat race. So it looks like you got Chris French on the pole, followed by the 56 of Jacob Phillips in second, the 70 of Aaron Smith in third, the 12 of Jimmy Moore in fourth, 7 of Paul Hahn in fifth, with the 88 James Danforth in sixth.
And rounding out your back end of the field here, you have Randy Gross in seventh. Sharing a lane with him is going to be the number 1 of Nathan Gentry. Lane behind them, you got the number 69 of Larry Poling starting in 9th. The 52 of Johnny Rapp starting in 10th. And out by his lonesome is going to be the number 60 of Steve Vest as the number 15 of Brad Compton. I saw him. He had a phone call to take. He's like, boys, I gotta get out of here. So I don't know if some debt collectors are coming for him or what, but he had to take off out of the track. He might be back later on after he escapes those fellas, but we'll have to see.
Alright, looks like we're ready for waiting on 56 Jacob Phillips to grid up. So what drivers are you gonna keep an eye on for tonight there, Jacob?
Right now, just the front 4, really. Those guys are going to be the fastest ones on track. Those guys that put on a show every other week, so my biggest bet's going to be that banana there, the 70 car of Aaron Smith. I think he's got something up his sleeve. Although in practice, Jacob Phillips was putting down some barn burn laps. But in my case, you can't bet against the banana.
Alright, let's get these drivers rolling off, and we're already in turn 3 to get ready to launch these cars. It looks like we have one more lap.
Yep, pace car is getting ready to come off, so...
Oh, it looks like we already have some contact between the 3rd and 4th place drivers.
They're getting their practice in early.
Oh, getting those bumping and running already. As we're coming into turn 3.
Coming to turn 3 here, the pace car is going to peel off as these guys get ready to get her going again. Oh, Jimmy Moore spins the tires a lot. That is going to create havoc down at the end of the field here. Going to be going 3 wide for a little bit, 4 wide almost. As Jimmy Moore tries to get himself recalibrated up while we have a battle for the lead here with Chris French, Jacob Phillips, and Aaron Smith. So they're going to be continuing being side by side. I do believe you can run the top lane at Southern. It is a good lane to run. It's not going to be the preferred lane though with most short tracks. You have here Jimmy Moore just continuously falling down that scoreboard after spinning the tires. Absolute catastrophe of a start. But he is making his way up the field now. He's got himself gathered up. Randy Gross going on the apron there, getting a little loose. You have a battle here for 9th position between Steve Vest and Johnny Rapp. And with this, you have Randy Gross pulling away. Here you have Chris French able to get himself free of the lead. I believe we have the cameraman trying to chase the commentator and the commentator trying to chase the cameraman here. It's all good. This is what we're here for. Yeah, Chris French got himself cleared out to the lead, and he's going to start trying to run away from this thing as Aaron Smith's not going to let him go quietly in that good night, though, as we're already halfway through this heat race. Say Jacob Phillips falling down a little bit, but he's going to get himself wanted back up and going again. So you have it on board here with Jacob Phillips as he searches down that battle for the lead. He says he's licking his chops. He's saying he wants to be in that, I tell you. He wants to be right inside, on the inside corner of that number 70 car right there. So you have here behind him, just absolute clear track. It also shows how close these guys are running to the wall. I mean, it's just a little bit up the track and it's game over. You end up smacking the wall. It's not going to be good for your car there. You already got tire rubs on them, or you got rust spots. One small slap of the wall, it's going to fall apart on you. So you have your Chris French just trying to run away as fast as possible from Aaron Smith, but Jacob Phillips does close in a little bit. He closes into Aaron Smith, but French is just running away with the thing for now. So I think your closest battle on track right now is Paul Hahn and Jimmy Moore for an extra bonus point or two. It's not the end of the world, but I mean, 2 bonus points are better than 1 here, so that's what that battle is going to be for. So I do believe Jimmy Moore is 2 points behind Johnny Rapp in the point standing. So those 2 points right there, passing Paul Hahn, if he does, is going to give himself... Oh, we got his turn! We got a spin from the number 70 car! As he's able to keep her collected. How is he able to keep that spot? I do not know. I may have not realized the race was over.
Yeah, very short heat race there as we go through the results there. So you got Chris French taking home the win and also the pole, followed by the 70 Aaron Smith in second, the 56 Jacob Phillips in third, the 7 Paul Hahn in fourth, Jimmy Moore in the 12 and fifth, and Randy Gross in the 34 and sixth.
Rounding out the bottom half, you have James Danforth in the 88 finishing 7th. Then you got Johnny Rapp finishing 8th, Steve Vest finishing 9th, Larry Pauling finishing 10th. That leaves Nathan Gentry finishing 11th. Say here for this warm-up, driver came up to me in the booth here, and he was like, you know what, boys, if you ever get bored or ever want somebody else to talk to, throw me in there. So we're going to get a little bit of a post-race recap of that heat race for the number from our in-car pit reporter is going to be the number 12 of Jimmy Moore. Jimmy, it's Jacob in the booth. You got me?
Oh, yeah, buddy. I got you loud and clear.
Well, you had a little bit of a rough start there in the heat race. I mean, you're able to make it back up there, but what happened out there, man?
Well, Fanatec decided that my shift from second to third was actually a shift from second to first. So a little bit of a money shift, but luckily I am the most talented race car driver on the planet, so I was able to compensate by shoving in the clutch immediately and fixing it because I'm smart. Then I got behind Randy, who proceeded to try to die. So I just waited him out and decided that I was just going to let him, spin himself, which was great. And then I couldn't catch the guy that finished in front of me, whose name I don't remember. So hopefully the feature goes a little better for us. I'm planning to not kill anybody because Justin Wilson, the saddest sack of life to ever grace this league, didn't show up this week. So he'll have to wait till next week, but we'll see. Hopefully it's going to be a good night. It's getting a little dark out, I think. I'm seeing out my window there, so track might start to cool down a little bit, but it's going to be a tire conservation race, which is really boring, but what do you got to do? We're going to do our best to make it a show for you.
I mean, you do have the option of running them tires as hard as you can because you got an extra set above the wall. If you just hope that caution comes out. It's a bit of a gamble run there, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, but it takes 10 minutes to change the tires because all I could afford was the geriatric men at Lowe's to come try to help me. I said the word Bud Light and race car, and they said they'd meet me at the track. But I timed these guys, and they're clocking in right around 2 minutes to change a full set of tires. So frankly, I think we need to get them back to the home and tucked into bed before they poop their pants.
I didn't know you were calling the one-inch racing crew over to your car, but say it should be it in.
we're gonna do our best to ride the Dente tonight. Shout out Carson Hocevar, but we're gonna see what we can do. It's gonna be a fun night. I'm confident that we'll make some fun out of it.
There you go, and I'll let you get prepared for that feature race here. 75 laps is a bit of a long one, so plenty of time to get some strategy figured out. And
absolutely. Thank
have
you,
a
boys.
good luck in that feature there, boys.
I'm gonna do my best to not be the show tonight for a bad way. I'm hoping to do it the right way, but we'll probably talk at some point. I bet.
There you
go. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. And that was our in-race pit reporter, number 12 car, Jimmy Moore. He's excited. He's ready to go. We're ready to go. We're only got about a minute and a half of warm-up here. As Jimmy was saying, the track has dropped from a 90 degrees down to an 83 degrees. This is when you start thinking about bringing a sweater. But those car engines and car tires, they really like this colder weather.
Mm-hmm. So you see what he was saying, but daylight's starting to go away a little bit, so are we going to see the lights turn on here before the feature?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, you only got, it's like what time in Sim? I can't find it. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to bother looking. Oh, it's 7:44 in Sim, so by the time the feature rolls around, it might be 8 o'clock, which is right around sundown time. Might have a little bit of sun in your eyes for the first 10, 20 laps or so. But after that, she's going to get nice and cool for you.
Mm-hmm.
Also shout out Jimmy Moore for whilst he's doing the little interview here. He was having some games with his teammate, the number 70, Aaron Smith. As we see, Aaron Smith is heading towards the pit garage. Gonna get filled up on some propane, maybe? I'm not entirely sure where he's going. He seems to be a bit lost. Oh, that's a closed door there. But
But anyway, it looks like we're about
there we
ready to get this going.
We have fun in these warm-ups, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
As we're getting ready to move on down the track. It does seem to go down a little bit. It's going to be 7:55 p.m. in sim time. Track gone down to an 81 degrees. It's going to keep getting colder.
Damn.
Track gets colder, drivers get hotter. I'll let you decipher what I mean with it.
Okay. Well, just like that, we'll go into our grid for tonight's feature.
I shall be the announcer for you tonight. I know I've had some comments on my driver intros, so we're going to keep it going here. Starting in first position, you have the man of the hour, the number 53, Chris French. Next to him in the second position is the Mr. Bonanza, the number 70, Aaron Smith. In the second row, starting in third position, is going to be the number 56, Jacob Phillips. Right next to him in the fourth position is going to be the number 7, Paul Hahn. In fifth position behind them, you have the legendary number 12 car, Jimmy Moore. In the sixth position, you have the number 34 of Randy Gross. Right behind him in the next row over is going to be the number 88 of James Danforth, starting in seventh position. In eighth position, you have the black and green number 52, Johnny Rapp, who won in Vegas. And behind them in the ninth position is the number 60, Steve Vest. And next to him in the 10th position in the number 69 car, Larry Pauling. And right behind them by themselves is going to be the number 1 of Nathan Gentry as the green flag is out. We're on the way. We're already starting to get a little single file here behind them, but Aaron Smith is not going to let Chris French go quietly into the good night like he did in the heat race here. So it's going to be 75 laps, but these laps are going to fly by. We already saw with the heat race there how fast 10 laps can go by. Imagine 75. As Jacob Phillips is not going to let them also go quite a good night. He has lessons learned from the heat races. So Aaron Smith does get a little bit wiggly there up the track. They're going to open the door for Jacob Phillips, but he closes the door on him just as quickly as it opened. You have a few people smacking the wall, giving themselves a little bit of southern stripe, if you know what I mean. As you have absolute calamity back here in the mid-pack. We have Steve Vest trying to hold off former winner Johnny Rapp. As he's not going to be able to do so, as Johnny Rapp gets on the underneath of him, is going to try to be able to sail off into that good night. Into the sunset, as they would say. As that's get clear, and he's going to keep an eye on that number 52 as he approaches number 88 of James Danforth. We've seen Johnny win last week. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2. As you have Chris French just trying to cruise away to a victory, as Aaron Smith is trying to chase him down. Aaron Smith's not an easy person to shake off, I'll tell you that much. As you've seen from previous league races here with the Slingshot, under the Slingshot Racing banner. Aaron Smith is a well-known name there, but an unknown name in the Sunday series as he makes himself known here. So you have just Chris French, absolute clear track in front of him. There's no sunset in your eyes. The sun is behind the trees, so unless you have trees turned off, you might have a little bit of sun in your eyes, but that's some magic powers that I do not possess. And behind him, you just have another little bit of a single file action going on here. As everybody tries to conserve their tires, conserve their position. So you don't want to burn yourself up too early. So the track temp has actually increased to an 84 degrees. It's getting a little bit hotter out there. You might want to take that sweater off. As you have a little bit of three-car gaggle for 5th place with Paul Hahn leading the charge. James Danforth takes a little bit of a different line as he gets pressured by the number 52 of Johnny Rapp once again. Johnny Rapp has a war goal in mind. As he makes himself up to the field, he's going to be there in no time. By lap 20, he's going to be out there battling for 3rd, I bet ya. If I'm a betting man, that's what I put money on, but I don't got no money, so. As we have here, still single file for a little bit. Everybody trying to save fuel, save tires. Not entirely sure why you'd save fuel, but it is an idea. Getting that little draft. I don't think drafts really exist here, but that's also not part of the equation that these drivers are trying to think about. As you see, Jacob Phillips is leaning back a little bit, maybe trying to conserve more tires than the rest to get a little bit more of a edge at the end of this race here. You have Jimmy Moore behind him, just trying to cruise along, trying to do the same thing. He doesn't really need to battle or anything. His point rival is about 3 positions behind him, so he's looking pretty good right now. Paul Hahn sticking around in the 5th position. That's where a position lower than when he finished in the heats here. As Jimmy Moore was able to get around him, but he's just going to try and put consistent lap times, as well as this number 34 of Randy Gross. He's just trying to hound down the back bumper of the number 7, but he could also run a conservative strategy. A little bit of a breather break there, but we're good to go. As the number 52 does go up the track a little bit of an offline there. As he may get into the marbles there, he might have a little less grip coming to this corner, but he seems to be able to keep himself up together now. Already up about 2 or 3 positions, if my math is correct, into 7th position. As he's not letting himself off that gas. And the number 88 of James Danforth, a little bit of a quiet night for him, but he's going to make himself known later on in this race, I'm sure of it. So right now, he's just like, I'm going to let those fellas up front battle it out, and I'm just going to sit here, cruising along, having a grand old time. As you do have Aaron Smith here, absolutely not letting French go. He's going to make sure French has to push his car to the absolute max, or he's going to have to give the position up and have to chase him later on. And I tell you right now, French does not want to chase that banana. He wants to be chased by the banana because it's a lot easier to defend than it is to attack that man. But with that strategy, it's going to make him burn his tires up a bit more, maybe lose a bit more pace. Because everybody here is running pretty equal lap times. You got Chris French that time around with a, once it updates, a 15.73, with Aaron Smith running a 15.65. So Aaron Smith with the faster lap this time around. That definitely shows with the amount of space he gained on the back bumper of the number 53 there. So if I was a driver right now, you do risk the effect of annoying the driver ahead of you, but I'd start practicing your bump and runs early, see if anything can happen, see how the car is going to react.
It's going to be interesting.
Our approaching lap traffic of the number 69, Larry Pulling.
That's what I was just about to say is, oh man,
Ooh, Larry.
It looks like they're just gonna get gently by him, so that really didn't come in a factor there.
Larry Pulling just trying to do a last minute dart out of the way. almost got himself in trouble, but he's a smooth criminal there, so he's able to keep himself out of harm's way. As we have Johnny Rapp trying to make up another position on number 34, Randy Gross here for 6th place. This is when Jimmy Moore starts sweating because he's going to be, he did have that one single bonus heat race point, but it's going to be a tight points battle between Rapp and Moore as he gains up into 6th place. Johnny Rapp is, he makes quick work of the 34 of Randy Gross, but Randy Gross is not going to let him go quiet in that good night as he tries to hold off the number 88 and also tries to attack the number 52. His hands are full, I tell you. Behind him, you have James Danforth. He got out of line a little bit there, but he's able to wall himself back up. As you see here, Johnny Rapp is disappearing a little bit smaller and smaller into the screen, but that ain't nothing. As you might see, 34 on the chip a little bit there. Randy Gross might be over revving the engine. A little bit of a strategy there, keep heat in the motor. We don't want to put too much heat on it as Paul Hahn is coming up against the same lap car of the 69 of Larry Pulling. He makes it out clearly. He doesn't lose too much ground to the number 7 there. As Johnny Rapp is there now. Or lose too much ground to the number 12 there, I meant to say. See Randy Gross, he might have burnt off his tires a bit early. He is fading a little bit. Say lap times are going down drastically. We've lost about 0.2 since last time I was shouting out the blaps, so these tires are decaying, but we're not even halfway through the race, so you don't want to take tires yet. As the number 34 and 88 do a combination pass on the lap car, but that opens the door for the 88. See if he's able to make the move. Randy goes up the track to give him a little bit of room, but cuts the door down on him early, making the 88 lift. A little bit of mind games here in short track action. As you have these two here just absolutely tied to each other's bumper. You could say there's a rope tied between the front bumper and the back bumper of this number 70 and 53, and I believe you. It's just so small we can't see it.
So those front rotors of Aaron's there is just glowing.
Might be a strategy using more front bias than the number 53 here, trying to conserve some rear tires, making them not slide as much.
Mm-hmm.
As we do have here, we are dipping into the 16-second range for lap times. So you take tires, you're gaining 0.4 a lap on these guys.
The problem is, I don't think we're gonna see that unless we go a caution, because the lap times are so short around here. If somebody comes down to take tires, you're gonna end a lap down, and I don't know if that speed difference is gonna do anything to gain all that track position back.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to pass the leader about 3 times. I think with how fast these guys are coming around, you might go at least 2 laps down, is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you might start a chain reaction if you go down under green and people see you pulling away on them. They might go, oh, I might get tires now. And then you start that chain of reactions. The next thing you know is everybody is on fresh tires, and this kind of restarted itself. So it's not really that good of a plan, but ignore me. As I started talking, I started thinking more, and I realized it was not the best idea in the world. See, these two are putting on an absolute clinic, though. The next car behind them is 2 seconds down the field of the 56 of Jacob Phillips. And Jacob Phillips is on an island by himself here in 3rd. See Jimmy Moore trying to chase down the 3rd place position of Jacob Phillips. These two did have a little bit of running in Vegas, but wasn't that major. As Randy Rose still struggling on those old tires. Everybody's on old tires, but he's on older tires. I swear they gave him the wrong kind. So he's not able to keep as much track position as everybody else is as he smacks the wall a little bit. Put a little bit of extra camera on those tires. It's going to be good to go. He gives Steve a little bit of a bump there coming out the corner. Have here in the number 70 car trying to chase down the number 53 once again. Gonna make another run at it. Cool down his brakes, cool down his tires, and make another charge at her. Track has it for some reason, even though it's sundown. That is a picture. That is intimidating. I'd be scared. Even though it's sundown, I don't know if it's just because there's cars on track or what, but the track degrees has already gone up to 90 degrees back to what we are in practice. So that could also contribute into the factor of the lap times going down. As we are approaching the number 69 car of Larry Pulling once again. Going to be putting him 2 laps down. Not the race Larry was looking for, but he's still out there having a grand old time. Put him 2 laps down now. That does open. That does. Chris French got to him in a lot more of a better position than Aaron did, so he's going to make a bit of a gap there, but that gives Aaron Smith the opportunity to cool down his vehicle, cool down his tires, all that stuff. As Johnny Rapp is gaining once again. Gonna see if he can make anything happen here on number 7 car of Paul Hahn. Say it's been an interesting time watching him try to split through these cars here, trying to get back up to the front. You do have Jacob Phillips coming up against Larry Pulling here. As he does make quick work of the 69 car. Not losing too much time. He's still only lost about maybe 0.3 seconds or so. Chris French is slowly pulling his lead ahead to a 0.5, which is not ideal.
Makes me wonder if Aaron there's just kind of cooling his jets for a little bit and taking care of the tires for a couple laps and see if he can make another run towards the front after a few laps.
You're giving Chris French a little false sense of security as well. He's like, no, I'm clear of him. I'm good to go. I can put my feet up and cruise on down to victory. Next thing you know, banana. It's game over.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, that's practically a banana peel.
There you go. As we are approaching another lap car of the number 34 of Randy Groves, also not having the race he was asking for. But both really lap cars make quick work of him. As you do have a gaggle of cars here for the 4th place position.
So Paul's just hounding Jimmy's back right there.
I mean, I believe in the 5th place position, 5th place and up, you're gaining 2 points per position. So that right there could be the make or break of your season. Just those 2 extra bonus points, because these point positions, they're tight. But we're going to be able to see if anything happens here, as Johnny Rapp is also sitting there laying in the weeds trying to make a move. As Steve Vest is going a lap down now as these lead lap cars are making quick work.
Contact!
Oh, look out! Oh, contact! Jimmy Moore around. Yellow flag is out. No one else makes any more contact. Jimmy Moore, that is not what he wanted to see. Points rival cruising on by him up to 4th. That is not ideal for the number 12 car there.
Looks like Paul, let's go back just a tad bit further. As we were saying, he was just hounding the back of Jimmy there. And finally, I think he gave him a little bit of a chrome horn. And Jimmy kind of went down on him a little bit afterwards.
A short track racing incident there. We do have some fellas in the chat. You got John Rapp cheering on Steve. And that, a little bit of an opportune time to look at the chat here, but we have a went golfing is a Jimmy Moore fan. He's saying, "Let's go, Jimmy. At least your car looks good." And it's hard to hold off Stoker there. He's fast as chicken in the south. I would say that he's also saying no to Jimmy Moore, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy Moore's going to be able to get her going again. And that was what I was going to predict right there. The only person not taking tires is going to be the number 52 of Johnny Rapp. He always runs these alternative strategies here. He may not have been the only one, but I will double check that claim.
Well, things like that, we would have both the 7 and maybe the 12 get trapped a lap down.
That would not be ideal. Paul Hahn did indeed get trapped a lap down, but the front 2 of your restart here, they did not take tires. So it's going to be interesting to see how well they're going to be able to hold off each other. Not very. They're 3 wide right off the start.
Ooh. That wasn't on the bingo card for me tonight. Rewind. Oh,
I know. I was spread able to
French.
make it work. Oh, French is around though. Is around the front end of Jacob Phillips. Sorry. Yeah, went off and I was trying to decrypt your name there. I was putting way too much thought into it.
It almost looks like it got in the marbles down low, and kind of overcorrected it.
Yeah, hit the apron, got the car a little bit tipsy-turvy, then it was game over after that point. With how tight these guys are racing, any kind of mistake there would be game over, and it was. So 3 wide at Southern. Surprised we were able to see it. Paul Hahn, I believe, was going to get the lucky dog, put himself back on the lead lap, back in the fight.
Like you said, it looked like Jacob Phillips gets a little damage coming off the back end of Chris there.
These short track cars, they can take a beating and come back at her, so. You're going to see if Phillips and Johnny do take tires this go around. Give himself one lap extra fresh set of tires.
Problem is, like we were talking about, them thinking about doing green lap or green flag pit stops. Is like these are such fast laps, even under pace. I think you're gonna get a lap down even if you come take tires.
I know. So we are getting a few more people on the lead lap here as we are coming down to 1 to go with the pace car. So it looks like Johnny Rapp and Jacob Phillips have said they've made their bed, they're going to lay in it. And green flag is out. We're on the way. As Johnny Rapp, not the best start in the world with those old tires, as Aaron Smith's able to run away with it, but Jacob Phillips is going to be able to keep ties on that number 70 car. So looking around, Johnny Rapp is falling back quite severely behind number 53 of Chris French. As Danforth, as I said, was going to have a quiet night, was going to make a rally point at the end of this here, is already sitting down in 5th. But Jacob Phillips with a beaten and battered car, going to try to chase down the number 70 as the number 53 gets in the back of him. That's short track racing right there, boys. Patience is thrown out the window as we come down to 10 laps to go. Yeah, with the tire advantage, Chris French able to make himself around to the outside of Jacob Phillips here. But not quite, as Jacob Phillips does gain a little bit into the corner entry. It's not going to be as easy as we once thought it would be. And then Chris French finally gets clear of Jacob Phillips here, but he's not going to let him go quiet. He's going to give him a little bit of a bump coming in the mid-corner. But it's not really going to do much. Anything that's going to help the number 53 as he slams the wall. Same with Johnny Rapp there, as you have your first and second in points here. Jimmy Moore and Johnny Rapp battling it out. As Aaron Smith has gone, he's gone into the sunset. As Chris French, as I just said, it's easier to defend a banana than to track a banana. See, some people call me the future Sia. Chris French is making a little bit of time on the number 70 there. I believe the 70 is just smoothing on down. Going a little bit of Sunday driving. The track has lowered down to 87 degrees now. So everybody trying to get the last band of track position they can get before it gets too strung out on him. You see Jimmy Moore hunting down number 34 of Randy Gross as Johnny Rapp tries to chase down Jimmy Moore. See if James Danforth can make a run at her. He is running slightly faster laps than Jacob Phillips here. See if he can make himself a third place finish. Yo, flag is out for some reason. There might have been contact between the 12 and 34. Just some tight, close racing here as they door bang in a little bit, and that got the 12 all squirrely, trying to save it, ran up into the 34 here. So we are looking at a possible green-white checkered finish.
We only have one attempt at that, don't we?
Correct, I do believe. As Johnny Rapp does come down to take tires.
I really don't know if it's gonna. He has enough time for those tires, but he's proven me wrong once or twice on that pretty much same strategy. So we'll see what happens.
Well, we saw in the beginning of the race he was able to split around those cars, gaining about 6 positions in the first 10 laps or so, but he's only got 2 this time.
But all those other drivers has got at least 10 lap tires on, maybe more than that. So I don't know. He might just pitch her up on top and maybe just drive around the rest of these guys. We'll see.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see during this last little stretch here. Now, the race controller is saying this is the final caution. So this is going to be a green-white checker finish or just green-yellow over. So there isn't that much of a risk here of Johnny Rapp because he is the one of the last cars on lead lap. So if he goes down, he's not going to do anything hard. He slams into the 88er James Danforth here on the start.
That's exactly right.
As you said, Johnny Rapp is running that third lane up in the marbles.
Oh, got too high. Got up in those marbles as we're coming down to the white flag.
Tries to run away. 3 more is not going to let Johnny Rapp gain any position here as they're looking at 3 wide here for a little bit. Oh, Chris French and the wall and Jacob Phillips. Good Lord, Paul Hahn's around. Oh, Paul Hahn with a hard hitting the road in there as the checkered flag comes out. That was a race and a half right there.
We go back and see what happened to Paul coming to that checkered right there. Oh, he's got hooked by. Oh, yeah, that's a
hard hit right there.
That's a rear axle housing's completely gone out of that thing now.
Oh yeah. As he lips it across the line, honor to him.
All right.
So we had a finish and a half there for second place between Chris French, once again, part of a close finish. I mean, that's going to be a world record there for him right now. But going down your list here, your winner of the race is going to be the number 70 of Aaron Smith, bringing her home in the Fast Banana. And then in second place there is going to be the number 56 of Jacob Phillips. And third place is going to be number 53 of Chris French. And what did I say? In fourth place, after having a quiet beginning of the race, he's able to rally himself back up, finish fourth position, is number 88 of James Danforth. And in fifth position is going to be number 12 of Jimmy Moore. Sixth place is going to be number 52 of Johnny Rapp. Seventh place, matching his number, is going to be number 7 of Paul Hahn after losing his rear axle and possibly a concussion. Coming home in 8th place is going to be the number 60 of Steve Vest. And in 9th place, the 34 of Randy Gross. And in 10th place is going to be the 69 of Larry Pulling. And not being able to make most of the race here is going to be number 1 of Nathan Gentry and Brad Compton. He did not escape those debt collectors. They probably got him. He's probably behind bars at this point. I don't know. I do believe we have our top 3 finishers ready to go. I'm trying to think. 1 second here as I look. Once again, it's going to be Chris French coming up first. Number 53 of Chris French. We're getting ready to hear from him how this race went. What a race for sure, John Rapp. I do agree with you. Everybody put your hands together. Here he comes. Here he is. Welcome to the stage, number 53 of Chris French. Can you hear us? Do you got us?
Hey, I got you guys.
Hey, one. How's it going, man?
It's going good. I feel like I kind of threw one away tonight, but you always know that Aaron's probably holding a little something back, and I saw it there at the end.
So I was saying during the broadcast there, it's a lot easier to hold back a banana than to chase a banana.
Oh, 100%. He hits his marks every single time, and he'll fill your mirror the entire time, too, before he gets to you.
So, I was going to say there, you've got yourself quite the trend going on of close finishes with the close finish for third and close finish for the second place last race, and another close finish for the win in the Clash. So the Mr. Excitement over here getting close finishes left, right, and center.
Yeah, man, just going for it. I really like these cars. I like how you can really lean on the right side of it and kind of push it a little bit. You can't abuse it, which I kind of did there that last run, trying to chase down Aaron. But that's part of these cars. It's just a lot of excitement with them.
Here you go. And I know we had a bit of a dynamic track weather with the race started at 80 degrees, and by the halfway point, you are back up to 90. I don't know if you felt that in the car or not, but
yeah, it kind of felt like it got a little bit tighter as the run goes. I don't know. I kind of figured that was just track rubbering up or something, but I felt like it kind of pushed a little bit more, but I may not even know what I'm talking about too. So I don't know if I could really, but I kind of felt like it was more so just track conditions more than anything.
right on, right on. And I mean, this should be a good points day. I know you already had a very high standings in the points here, so hopefully you can get yourself up to possibly, if my math is correct, second, maybe even lead in the points.
Awesome. I like that. Just try and keep stacking top threes. I feel like this series, if you get top threes, you'll be in the running. So just try to keep out of trouble. I know that one incident, I think we all just kind of bottlenecked there, and then I clipped the apron and kind of got turned, but that was nobody's fault, really. That was just racing. So trying to keep those sorts of mistakes low, just finish top three in these races. And I think whoever does that the most is probably going to be in a run-in or trying to pull away with it.
Say, as a former Sunday champion, I can tell you right now, I won one race in my championship season. So definitely consistency over flair in this Sunday series.
I'll make note of that.
But again, here, congratulations on your third place finish, man. It was an awesome race watching you hold off Aaron Smith as long as you could. And before we let you go here, anybody want to shout out? Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, thank you guys for putting this on. Thank everyone in the race. This was a lot of fun and good race amongst the group. And shout out to localmobilehomebuyers.com and La Lajita Mexican Restaurant in White Pine, Tennessee.
There you go. And hopefully we can see you here again next week as we go down to a road course at Watkins Glen.
That's the plan. I'm gonna do a little bit of a giveaway. It's gonna be the Road Warrior Award. So whoever has the best finish of those two road courses, I'll send you a nice box of some die casts or some hats or something. Put something together. So there will be a little bit of prize on the line for those two races.
A little of an incentive to show up and do some good old-fashioned road racing.
Absolutely. Spread the love all around and make everybody have a good time and put something on the line. Everybody enjoys that.
There you go. So you've heard it here first.
I appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you next time.
Yes, talk to you in a bit. And that was your third place finisher, number 53, Chris French, with an announcement for the road course king there. Highest average finishing positions on the two road courses. That will be Watkins Glen and Charlotte Roval, and later on in the season is going to get a nice little prize for themselves. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the broadcast. And coming in here to hear from our second place finisher is going to be the number 56 of 56 of Jacob Phillips. I've been talking a lot today. Don't worry about that. Here he comes. There he is. Ready to put your hands together. Jacob Phillips is Jacob Nickerson in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Pretty good so far. I'm doing just broadcasting this amazing race we just saw here. I mean, what were your thoughts coming in? What are your thoughts coming out?
To ask me what my thoughts were, I would first have to have thoughts.
That's a good point.
I just show up, race hard, try to have some fun. I know we got a stout group of guys here. It's always good racing with all these guys, and got some real strong short track fellas. So yeah, just try to keep it clean and get the best run we can out of it.
See, how much of that race was conserving tires and how much of that race was actually trying to push up into those two guys ahead of you? Because I know throughout majority of the race you were staying consistently about 2.5 seconds behind. So, well, I don't know what the strategy there was.
All the way up until that first caution. Well, I can't even say that far. Up until about halfway was just save tires. Well, I didn't save tires quite well enough. Plus, these things, if you drive them right, you can get down on them pretty hard and use up both tires or both right sides equally and still have good drive and good time. So, shot myself in the foot there in the first run, but kind of rebounded there at the end of the race. Some hard racing. Man, I hated when Chris got squirrely off of two. I tried doing a crossover on Johnny, and I went to do the crossover on Johnny, and as soon as I cleared Johnny's inside, Chris was right there, and I had nowhere to go. I didn't mean to get into him and get him spun around like that. So I felt bad about that. And then right there at the end, he and I were just racing hard. Gave him a little bit of a door coming off of two, and I think I put him up in the wall. It was by no means intentional, but
That's just some classic short track racing there. And, you know, Chris Frenchie has a good reputation in the name of the Sunday Series of having really close finishes. So you had to expect something coming out of that. I mean,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, Chris is a good competitor, clean racer. He's a fun guy to race around. He's always quick, so be able to be up there running with him, running with Aaron, it felt pretty good.
say I asked this question here to the man we just talked about, Chris Frenchie, and he wasn't that in tune with the weather, but I was keeping an eye on the track temps. And starting this race, y'all were at about 90 degrees. Starting this race, you're at 80 degrees 80 degrees Fahrenheit. About halfway, it jumped up to 91, and at the end, you're back down to 81. Was there any feeling in the track of that temperature changing, or?
So that first run we had, it definitely started to feel a little bit better as the race went on. But man, I tell you what, these cooler temperatures, track does tighten up a bit, and I was having a hard time rotating the car like I wanted to. So I mean that you can never guess what the track is or is not going to do. It threw me off a little bit. I was hoping for a little bit warmer track, but it is what it is. We capitalized and made the best of what we had to work with.
So you have another wild card thrown in there where I'm making the session and I don't know what I'm doing.
That's what we like.
Yes.
Completely random.
There you go. Say again there, congratulations on your second place finish. Do you have anybody you want to share out, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, first of all, you and Cam up in the booth putting the broadcast on. Appreciate you guys, everything you guys do week in and week out. Slingshot Racing League are always, it's a great group of guys and gals to race with. Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, fun runs. Always a great group of people to race with, great group of people to be a part of. Yeah, and all the drivers that showed up here, I think we had 12 or 13. Pretty good turnout. Wasn't quite the turnout we had for Vegas last week, but hopefully we get some car count rebound here in the next week or so, start getting more cars back out here and having more people to race with.
They have that Road Course King event going on. You should have an extra set of drivers coming in for the road courses. You got Washington Glen next.
I like the sound of that. I know Aaron is going to be quick on those road courses. So,
but again, here, thank you for showing up. Congratulations on your second place finish, man. And we're just gonna let you have a little bit of relaxing time before you race again on Monday.
right on. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. And that was your second place finish, number 56 of Jacob Phillips. Rounding our run of interviews here is the Fast Banana, the man of the hour, the man of the very known name in the Slingshot Racing League. Here is number 70 of Aaron Smith. Here he comes. Here he is. Aaron Smith, is Jacob in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, one man. I mean, we always said that you're a well-known name around here in the Slingshot League, but an unknown name here in the Sunday Series, and you made yourself known this race. I mean, what was your thoughts coming into this race, and what are your thoughts coming out?
Yeah, I didn't get much practice done tonight. I just spent most of the practice session drifting. Got in with about 15 minutes to go, so I wasn't too sure what to expect. Like, I have done some racing here in the street stocks, but it has been a while. I am a bit rusty. But yeah, Chris had me covered there in the first 3/4 of the race, and had to get him on strategy. Took Johnny 3 wide on the front stretch, and I was able to run from there without looking back. So I'll take it.
There you go. I mean, you talk about a lot of guys are talking about tire wear into this track. I mean, were you trying to conserve much, or were you just trying to put pressure on the old 53 car?
I wanted to get past Chris in the very beginning of the race because I know if I get to the front in these kinds of races, I can keep it. But it's so difficult to get a run when all you have is about a lane and a half to work with because the marbles were all over the top part of the tracks on both ends, and I didn't want to get up in those. So I tried to get like a nice arc and late apex and everything like that, get a good exit on them, but that was just tearing up that right front tire. I think I was at 81% on the at the pit stop there. Took my 2 tires, and fortunately, the difference in tires there at the end made that difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was watching lap times. If you took 2 tires on a guy with full tires, you were gaining about maybe at least 0.6 of a lap. Like the tire fall off was insane. Watching it here in the booth with the relative up. Sorry about that, but say again here. I mean, I talked about this to the last 2 guys. I didn't really notice her much or chopped up the tire wear. But when you guys started this race, it was 81 degrees out, and then about middle of the point, it was up to 90, 91 degrees, and then back down to 81 for that last restart. Was there any change in the track feeling with the temperatures raising and lowering to that intensity?
I had a feeling something like that was changing. I don't have the overlays for that, so I couldn't really tell for certain. But yeah, I was trying to run a lower line, like enter shallow, exit shallow, to try to get a better pivot through the center and to kind of rely more on my rear brakes to get the car rotated and not have to put so much on my right front tire. But after a while, that started to stopped working. I'd get close to Chris, and then all of a sudden I'd be losing time on the exits, and then I caught some lap cars right at the very exit of the corners where I'd be tracking out. So that certainly didn't help. But
No.
yeah, I was a step behind there after the first 25 laps. I feel like I had that, like the early pace worked just fine for me. I feel like if I did make something happen, I could run with it from there. But once it came time to get those tires worn in, it became clear I pushed way too hard.
Mm. So you're the first driver here so far that said they noticed a difference in the track temperature, or at least had an inkling of a notice. So just shows the kind of race sense you got here in the street stock car here, and you're definitely going to be a competitor in this series.
I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. It looks like we have a road course next week. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be
There you
fun.
go.
I love my road courses. If there's any place where I'd win, it'd be there. So hopefully I'll be able to back that up next week.
There you go. I mean, it's going to be a great time watching you here, studying your racecraft, maybe learn a few things up here in the booth. But again here, I mean, before we let you go, again, congratulations on your win. Do you have anybody you want to share it? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks here at the Slingshot Racing League for putting up with me here this season. I'm not here for one championship, not here for 2. I'm here to sweep all 3 of them, and hopefully I'll see that through. But I'd like to thank y'all for putting this broadcast on, all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it next week.
This man's going to have a treasure chest of trophies by the time he's into the season. So again here, thank you for giving us your time both on track and in the booth here, and give yourself a good old relaxation time before you have to get back into a car on Monday.
10-4, thank you.
Say again, that was your race winner number 70 of Aaron Smith, and that ends off our interviews here. Thank you all for watching at the OVERDRIVE Automotive Media channel, and we hopefully you can give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe, share the stream around to your friends. This was a barn burner of a race. I mean, we are 2 for 2, some absolute great racing. Different flavors, but very good racing nonetheless.
Yep. So I'm pretty stoked for next week there at Watkins Glen too.
So especially with that Road Course King event going on.
Mm-hmm. But that's a pretty nice cherry on top of the Sunday, so that'd be nice. But
Yeah, I mean, it's going to definitely increase the car count for the road courses. I know a lot of people were scared of it, but they might put their bootstraps on and get rigged up for maybe a little bit of a incentive.
Yep. All right, that about does it for me. How about you, Jacob?
I got nothing left to say, which is shocking to say.
All right. Once again, if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. All of us here on Overdrive. And this has been Cam and Jacob here for the Overdrive Automotive YouTube channel. And we will talk to you next week.
Bye.